of this lecture today. We will proceed further with official letters. So far we have discussed informal letters. Now henceforth we will be concentrating more on formal letters. Now formal letters, where do you find formal letters? Where it is applicable? Okay, you write formal letters to a person
Formal
in a company.
letters are yes, sir. Formal letters are variously used to address someone, like some authority, a person who has some authority, or some person to whom you are requesting something to bring someone's attention, or sir, like in office, to your boss, to your teacher, to your professor, to your principal. So formal letters are written.
Okay, if you look at the examples itself, no, application letters, letters of inquiry, or letters written to the editors, letters to one's colleague on business matters. So if you are writing these letters, it has got formal intention, right? It has got certain purpose to achieve. So purely it is related to your work or business. So if you are writing to a person in a company, if you are writing to the organization itself, if you are writing to the company itself, firm, then it turns out to be formal letters. Now here we'll jump directly to the answer to one of the questions. So let us look at the official letter right here. What is there to the left hand side at the topmost place? Again, if you remember, in formal letters we write sender's address, right? So this is placed on the right hand of the letter or the left hand side corner, depending on the format that you use. If you're using British format, it would be here. If you're using American style, it would be here to the left hand side, to your left hand side or right hand side of the letter itself. Okay. Now punctuation marks. If you remember punctuation marks, we discussed something about punctuation mark. So in current practice, address is not punctuated. Can you see the punctuation marks there? So it is omitted in
No,
official
sir.
letters. Okay, on company letterheads also it is omitted these days. After that you can see the date also, the date. You can write in USA style July 30th 2012 followed by comma. So the date is followed by the year. So it is placed right below the sender's address as in personal letter or informal letters. Is that clear now? Have you understood sender's address and the date?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what is this called? This part of the letter is called inside address. This is called inside address. Good morning, ma'am. I'm in lecture right now with senior class. Yes, ma'am. I'll call you. I'll give you a call at 9:30. So this is inside address. Right. This is the address of the receiver. So if you are writing sender's address here, right below that we are supposed to write date, leaving one line blank space. Again, leaving one line blank space, we write receiver's address. So what is generally written when it comes to receiver's address? Okay, you might have observed in some of the formal letters we used to write to, TO2. So it is generally omitted these days. Even the address is not punctuated, and in earlier times we used to punctuate this inside address, right? For example, the sales manager, comma, PK Private Limited, comma, 5th Kanchan Towers, Barakhamba Road, comma, again New Delhi, again comma, or hyphen 1 quadruple 01 full stop. So it is not punctuated, okay, and it is to the left hand side. It is to the right hand side of the letter and to your left hand side. So if you are clear about this one, sender's address, date, and receiver's address, which is called inside address, we should proceed further with salutation. Should we go ahead now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So these are the most common forms of salutation. In any official
Yes.
letter, you will get to see dear sir. Okay. Now here there is one more possibility. You can write dear sirs. So if it is in the organization, if it is not to a specific individual we are addressing this letter to, you can write dear sirs. Even if you are not sure about whether he is a male or a female, a person who is there at the place working as a manager, director, if you are not sure about who is he, whether he is he or she, so there you can write dear sir oblique madam followed by comma. So if you don't know whether the person to whom the letter is being sent is a man or a woman, so the salutation generally appears to be dear sir oblique madam. Okay, have you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There is one more possibility. If you know the person by his name, you know that you are writing to a particular person, so you can address that person by his or her name. Okay, now but it should be accompanied by a title, as in dear Miss Uma Verma or dear Dr. James. So salutation is here right after inside address. Now we'll go to this another entry that is called subject. If you remember informal letter, do we have this subject in case of informal or personal letters?
No, sir.
No, we don't have, right? We don't generally write subject. But whereas it is very, very important when it comes to formal letter, you'll have to mention the subject.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the subject should be not more than 3 to 4 words. So this is a prominent feature of all kinds of formal letters, official letters. Now what is it? It's a brief statement of the subject of the letter. What is there in the letter? What is the content? What is it all about? So it is right.
It should be of one line, right?
I can't hear you, Caleb. Will you be loud enough?
Should be in one line. That's it.
Yeah, it's in one line and without any kind of punctuation marks also.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
A clear line of explanation, sir. That's it. That is what I meant.
Yes, yes. So it should be placed right below this salutation, leaving one line blank space. So this is the main part of any letter. The content of an official letter should be brief, clear, precise, should be complete with respect to the information being conveyed. So what is it? Just whether it is, I mean, if you are stating about, let's say, you are writing a letter regarding the loss of identity card, or here itself appointment for consultation. So you are stating the subject, and the reader is expected to understand what would be the content, right? Probable content of this or the main body of this letter by just looking at the subject itself. Okay, have you understood now the subject?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now here we have two paragraphs stating what is the letter all about. Now what should be the features of these two paragraphs or the main body, the content of the letter? It should be clear, brief. So clarity of expression and thought should be there in this paragraph. Should be precise without any kind of errors. Complete without leaving any kind of gray area. Gray area, that means where you will find confusion, where it may create misunderstanding on the part of the reader. So the language should be polite enough. Even if you are refusing any kind of offer, no, or saying something difficult to the receiver, so it would be difficult on the part of the receiver to accept. The language should be polite enough. So you will have to avoid even expressions, generally expressions yours of even date to hand, or the expressions which are generally used in informal context. You will have to avoid these kind of expressions. So that is main body or the content of the letter that we have discussed. Now what is this? Can someone tell me? Yours faithfully.
Sir, it's regard that we just put it after the letter is done.
Caleb, as we have discussed this in informal case, informal letter also, in personal letter, this is called complementary clause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just forgot.
Yes,
Yes,
so
sir.
this is the expression generally used to close the official letter. Remember, we have begun this letter with writing dear sir or madam. Okay, so you can write yours faithfully. In case if you are addressing the receiver by his or her name, what should be the complementary clause? It should be yours sincerely. The reason
Yes,
behind
sir.
this is you have developed a rapport. This is not the first communication. Understood? For the subsequent communication, it could be yours sincerely here. For the
So
first
yours
communication,
truly.
that is more for informal.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, what do you mean by yours truly? It shows intimacy, right, Shivam? So you have that, you hold that intimate relationship with the person. That's why you write yours truly or truly yours.
Yes, sir.
Yours faithfully and sincerely generally written. There are some old-fashioned expressions like yours respectfully, obediently. So all these are no longer used. They are considered old-fashioned. Okay. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Completely, sir.
Okay.